Hey everyone, welcome back to an episode of Friends from Work. I'm Tom, this is Sean, and on today's episode, we are going to be reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But before we do that, do us a favor, leave a like right now, subscribe down below, follow us on TikTok and Instagram.
Spoilers, everybody dies.
Wow. Nice job, look at that, everyone dies. But yeah, before we do that, we do have a lot of new stuff coming to the channel, so stay tuned for that. I guess we really don't have to clip that.
When you were asking me, I was like, I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't know either. So yeah, we got a lot of new ideas. We're talking. We're in early process.
You know what? We could clip it and you could put it at the end of all the clips. You know what I mean? Like it's the outro.
Sure. But anyways, as we're in the main episode here, but yeah, we got a lot of new stuff coming for you guys. We're working on it right now, working out the kinks. So yeah, stay tuned for that. You'll probably see it within the next month or two or so. Like I said, we really want to make sure we do it right. But yeah. Anyways, let's get right into it. My initial thoughts for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the best way I can put it was a really, really great ending to a trilogy. I think so.
I agree.
Yeah. I had a few minor issues we'll get into a little bit, like every movie. But all in all, I was extremely entertained in it. You've heard us as past year and a half, or since we started this podcast, complain about the lack of story, entertainment, connection, just lack of creativity overall, to an extent of these Marvel shows and being too focused on propaganda, I guess you can say, or
social issues.
Yeah, social issues. That's a better word. Just trying to be like
trauma.
Yeah, just doing over the top stuff with like a new gen type thing. And I was very thankful, and I wasn't concerned about this with Guardians because they've always been their own thing, and James Gunn has made that a point to his creative process with this, was that this was in his own realm. At the end of the day, this was his own little bubble, and it wasn't going to touch it. So it turned into, again, a more mature story where kids can watch it. Like, still got actions, got Groot, got funny stuff like that.
Friendly,
yeah, there's obviously it was mainly attacked as just a story that you can follow, and it wasn't like deemed for kids where it's like stupid, silly. But yeah, I don't want to.
I mean, I like the movie as well. I thought I described it as I felt like what Love and Thunder was trying to do, but
that's
it just
good.
wasn't working.
Yeah.
But it definitely worked in this. It works in this storyline because Peter's just far more relatable than Thor. Thor's like God of Thunder.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for all of us to relate to him. And like I said, Peter's story is just more relatable. Like his grandpa's back in Kansas or whatever. Yeah, his grandpa's back in Kansas, and that just relates to us. Thor's like his dad's dad, and he was the god of the universe, and just all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But Guardians was really good. I like they introduced Adam Warlock. I was really glad that he wasn't a part of the whole thing. I thought he was going to be the bad guy or the good guy, but he really was just
there,
cannon fodder. They just introed him. He might have his own movie or show or something, I'm guessing. He'll show up again. He is very powerful, but I like that they showed him in his infancy when he's not as OP. He's basically like Captain Marvel almost. Yeah. So it's he's super OP. So it was when he showed up, in my head I was like, these are all gonna be really weird because he could just beat them all up. But it just showed that he just didn't know how to control his powers correctly.
I put that down as a con. I'll say it briefly, but I was like, he was there. But then I was like, let me take it back. The whole point is to wrap up the Guardian story, and we had to get Adam Warlock because he was introduced in the post-credit scene of Guardians 2. Yeah. So it made sense for this one. He was just kind of there. So we got an idea for people who didn't know him, he can be this powerful. We saw in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Well, I was worried that he was going to take over the movie.
Yeah.
Because it would make it a little silly because you're like, oh, well, he could just beat all of them up with one hand. Mm-hmm. And they can't do anything to him. So it was kind of cool that they kind of introduced him, like I said, in his infancy phases where he was kind of learning what to do. He didn't have a team. His mom ends up dying. It was just I liked him, and I like the kid who plays him as well. One thing I do, I like the higher intelligence, the bad guy.
High evolution.
High evolution. Sorry. I honestly thought he's better than Kang, like as the bad guy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I saw a lot of that on Twitter.
Or like
too.
He was just more vicious.
He was a
sadistic.
menace.
Yes, menace is a good word. It was like, it's just really like scary in comparison to Kang, where he's like, I can mess with time. Like it was like, okay, bro, whatever. Like
I put that down as a pro for me. It was like with the High Evolutionary, like it brought back like the classic villain feeling, so to speak. Like, Thanos was great. You had like a understanding, but he was got a menacing extent. But they had emotional aspect.
Yeah, the
but
flashback
they've been trying to do
perfectly where he liked Rocket, and then he'd like go crazy, and he'd be like in a drunken stupor, and he'd just be like, "You're just a stupid thing. I just want to, you know what I mean? Study your brain." Like
it brought back that immature, like villainy feeling.
Yeah,
like, always when they always throw fits.
Yeah, where like Thanos was like making sense.
Yeah,
or, like this guy's just evil.
And ever since Thanos, every pretty much Marvel villain after that is trying to be like that. Oh well, you can always relate to them, but you can't relate to High Evolutionary at all. But that's a good villain.
Yeah, he was just a crazy psycho person. Who, and like I said, the backstory was just awesome.
Yeah,
it really they were like perfectly timed when they were hitting you with the flashbacks.
I was worried
everyone's
about
just
that
on
too.
the edge of their seat, like when are all these little cute little animals gonna get killed?
Yeah,
they're like when is it gonna happen?
I know it's gonna happen.
Ready. You see the walrus, like he's not gonna make it. He can't run.
He can't do it. He can't even waddle.
But yeah, so I thought the movie was great. Though, like you said, James Gunn does just a great job telling the story. And it was like you said, in the world in its own, even though there's so much going on, they just basically don't bring up any of it, nothing of it at all. It's just the Guardians story. And there was like mini stories in Gamora and Peter, them trying to rekindle. The basis of it was Rocket's backstory.
Yeah.
Drax, and you know what I mean, he was going through, like, he didn't know what the team needed him for. I forgot what the chick's name though.
Mantis, Nebula.
She's going on to her name, and then like Nebula too, where like does she have a thing for Peter? Like I don't know. Like it's weird. It's just
that was funny.
I thought it was like very wonderfully done, where like everybody was getting a little screen time. It wasn't really all about Peter.
No.
They made it at the beginning. They kind of made it seem like it was going to be where like, oh, my grandpa missed him, want to go back, and then there was like, we won't hear about that again until the end of the movie.
Yeah, until the end. Yeah.
So I felt like everybody got a little bit of say farewell, and like I said, it was mostly about Rocket. And really, Groot was awesome. Groot was like, you know what I mean, in full bloom, all of his powers, and he was just doing like super crazy OP shit, and it was awesome.
It was really cool. Yeah, James Gunn, I will say, did a really, really good job making this an ensemble thing, but we're not surprised. Obviously, we know this is his bread and butter. He, like you said, like he made sure everyone got their flowers and story arcs finished nicely with a pretty bow on top. Regarding the trailers for this, you guys heard me a million times complain about this, but I will give this a compliment because it did mislead us to an extent where we thought that it was gonna be like Adam Warlock and the High Evolutionary. We're assuming that, and we thought that big fight with Adam Warlock was going to be more towards the third act, but like it was like the first 5 minutes, and that's why I really like that. That's how if you want to mislead us, make us think it's going to be the predictable way, but then he threw us off bat, because that threw me off rip. I did not realize Adam Warlock was going to come in.
Yeah, that was when he showed up right at the beginning. I'm like, what the hell is going on in the movie? I'm like, because like I said in my head, I'm like,
that threw
how
you
are they
off.
going to take him? Like they don't know what's going on. Gamora's not even there. That's who they really need if they're really going to try and take him. And then he realized like he's an idiot. And you're like, oh, okay. Like, all right, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing yet. And like I said, that was a nice little loop of the movie. I was kind of worried that it was going to be all about him. And
Adam?
Like I said, he's such an OP character where it's kind of hard to put him in a movie.
Yeah.
And like, if he's not the bad guy like everybody's trying to kill, or like on your team trying to fight Thanos, he really just doesn't fit in because he makes everyone around like useless.
Yeah.
But I did like that he saved Peter in the end. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I have some qualms about that. We'll talk about that later because that. All right, but I want to give his flowers first. I was actually pretty initially worried that the flashbacks were gonna take over. But like you said, it balanced out really well.
It was really
like
interesting.
It was like it never was filler. Like this movie was 2.5 hours, but that's fine. It's the ending of a trilogy, and it didn't feel like it when I watched it. It was really well paced. But when these flashbacks came and I saw them in the trailers and stuff like that, we knew there was going to be flashbacks. This is about Rocket. This was Rocket's movie mainly, and I was really scared about that. But James Gunn just did like it felt like it's probably like realistically 5 minutes, but it felt like a minute in the movie. But I'd probably say 5 to 10 minutes per. I say 5 to 10 minutes per flashback.
No, I think a lot of them were like a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes. As I think they progressively got longer as you kept going on. But yes, they were just timed in a really good spot where it didn't feel like you were. Like it was like paced very well. Where like as soon as they finished a little battle in the present, they would cut to a little scene. Or
and usually in movies they'd go like 20 minutes in a background or a flashback.
They just kept going back. And it was like a second movie within the movie and you were really interested too. And then to see like because you already knew what happened. Like you clearly knew they were all gonna die and Rocket escaped, but you really just wanted to see what exactly happened. And then like we all know like. I noticed obviously that his face looked weird or whatever, but I just thought it was like he had a robot face.
Yeah, because he was.
I just thought he was just like a robot, and he put like strapped a face on there.
I just thought because he was trying to upgrade his brain.
Yeah, that's what I
like
thought. And then you find out. I'm sure like that's what everybody thought. And then you find out Rocket was the one who like ripped his face apart because he, you know what I mean,
killed
all his friends. Yeah. So that was like I said, that backstory was just awesome. The only thing I really didn't like was like we didn't get I wish we got some Groot backstory. I want to know like what he is like.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, we never in any of this.
Not like we've got backstory from everybody.
I think we got like a brief description of what planet he's from in the first one from Rocket talking about it, but that was it.
Did he? I don't remember.
It was like a brief talk.
Or
no, I think maybe in the lineup or something.
Thor says like, oh, I know we've read about his people, like, because he could talk to him at first, and he's like, well, we read about these people when I was growing up. Or whatever. That's the only thing I remember. That would say the only thing I had really. I was like, because Groot was so awesome, and he is like a super OP character. I would like to know more about what he's got going.
That'd be interesting.
Because he's like an immortal plant that ages really fast and is super strong and can basically do anything you can imagine. So it's like, can we know a little bit about him?
What else I got here? You mentioned Drax earlier. I do agree. I really did enjoy how his story ended, because it was a reminder. Like I think we forgot through the series, and it could have been unintentional, or maybe it wasn't. I think it was unintentional. James Gunn did bring it back because, like I said, he didn't have control for a bit because Drax was in Endgame and Infinity War, stuff like that, like popping up in other movies that James didn't have control over. So we know that Drax has been known as just like this funny guy, or like the butt of jokes. There we go, the butt of the joke.
Stupid guy.
Yeah, but we forgot that like the reason he kind of joined the Guardians was because Thanos whatever's running. Thanos killed his parents, or not his parents.
Not Thanos, but under Thanos' orders.
Yeah. Thanos' army killed his child and wife, and we forgot he was a father. And then it was cool to tie that back at the end. And they're like, Drax, you're a father, and that's what he's always been chasing too, in a way. Like he missed having a family. He was very, even if you watch all the Guardians, like he's very family oriented with his group.
Felt good. Like everybody. Like it looped back to when Peter was always like self-conscious about going back home.
Yeah.
Gamora never had a family that loved her.
Yeah.
So she had the Ravagers now, even though like Peter and them all wanted them back, but she had her little family.
Yeah.
Nebula was like a leader. She was always like a follower. Like so everybody got their little closing. Like I said, nothing really with group like Rocket, like it was always this thing like where he was like, I'm not a raccoon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because
like,
he didn't know.
We finally found out his backstory and you know what I mean, what he went through. So yeah, like it was awesome. They closed all the loopholes. The way it ended, I'm assuming they're going to do more. I'm assuming it's just going to be like a pop-ups and other people's stuff.
Yeah, I have a few. I will discuss the post-credit scene because I do have a few ideas. I want to discuss that. I did see though online on Twitter or somewhere they were talking with Mantis, like she's gonna have her own, not movie or anything like that, but she's in her own life now, right? And there was something that Kane and Mantis got together in the comics. Kane and her like got married. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I mean, nothing that pops in my head, but there's like a million alterations. You know what I mean? Different ones. I don't remember that from the main storyline.
Okay. Yeah,
but
I
also,
wanted to bring
the
that
Guardians
up.
never are in like the main storyline, so that's probably like some weird.
I don't know. Like I said, that was a big maybe setup.
Like a million Kangs, so
yeah.
Who knows?
So who knows? I'm trying to look right here. I'll skip over those. Like I said, I wanted to save that. Oh yeah, we'll do some cons because I want to save the post credit scene towards the end. One big con I had, where was Quill's mask? Like, he always had like a little earpiece and he clicked it and it would pop up. But now, like, we never saw it broken. We saw the Walkman break. That was a big thing in the last one. Mm-hmm. But we never saw his mask break. I can't recall his mask breaking.
Was that what you were talking about when Adam saved
him? When he was like floating in space. But okay, whatever. You don't have your rocket boosters on your boots because you have a new uniform. I'll take that. Fine, whatever, right? But you've always warned you still have your side pistols, but you don't have your mask.
I didn't even think about that.
That bothered me so much.
I didn't even think about that at all.
Like, he's always had his mask. Like, it was a big deal when his Walkman broke. They made a visual right in our face to make sure we know. So now we have his iPod and stuff.
You know what I don't get about this just popped my head with the Walkman. Like, okay, I understand he's got the Walkman and the iPod, but they don't have the technology to like transition it into whatever, like integrate it into their own technology. Like, they don't got they can't upload MP3s onto a spaceship. Like, you can only listen to it if it's on an iPod. Like, aliens don't like music, guys.
Hey, who's got the aux?
All love his music. There's no kind of stereo system in the fucking spaceship.
They don't got
aliens
Bose.
don't have their own like iPod equivalent. Like, humans are the only people who listen to music. That's it. Like,
I always thought about that too.
So they're all just like passing Quill's iPod around. Like, there's no other apparatus to listen to music in space. Like, you guys have spaceships that can travel through the speed of light. You're like, you know what? Earth was the only people smart enough to come up with the freaking iPod.
103.5 Kiss FM for you.
Like, that's why it's like, what they can't, like, you would think like, oh, all right, we all just upload it into our wristband or something and we can all listen to it.
But no, I thought about that too throughout the movies. I was like, whatever.
Like, at first, like, it's cool at first, like when he first joins the group and it's like his thing because he's stupid.
Yeah.
So he can't do it. He needs to tape it. It's like Rocket and Nebula and all them are like geniuses.
Yes.
Like, they can't figure out how to upload the soundtrack onto the chip. Like, I don't get that.
Rocket built a spaceship from scrap.
He like, what did he build when they were he built the key when he was a baby raccoon. It's like, you can't build an MP3 player. Like,
that is true. I always thought about that. I forgot about thinking about that too. That was a thing. That was an issue. I guess, yeah.
Not an issue.
Not an issue. Just like, a weird thing.
It's always this thing where like they're always like have to save the tape recorder at the end of the mission because that's the only one they got.
Yeah. Speaking about Quill, also with that, it was really just the scene really that bothered me a lot. How on earth did Quill like last that long outside in space? Like, he's not a Celestial anymore, half Celestial.
I'm betting they're gonna say maybe they'll say like he still is.
We'll see. I don't know.
And you just thought he was like.
Well, because they made a point in the second one. He was like, he's not a Celestial.
Yeah.
He lost his powers.
Yeah.
I would like to know because like we saw his face like distort. At first when he was freezing, I'm like, oh, he'll be fine. But once I saw his face distort, I'm like, oh wow, he's gonna go like this.
Maybe he just has like a tiny bit of like he can't.
I don't know. They better explain.
I don't know. Yes, it was very contradictory. What's going on?
Because the whole series and even like outside of Guardians, every time we got shot into space, you froze instantly and died. Like it's always been like that. But Peter survived. It bothered me so much. He was out there for so long.
It didn't happen to Gamora because she's like a
right. She's an alien. Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
So so like in my head, I was thinking like he still got some remnants of like.
That's what I'm thinking.
You can't just like not be a god anymore.
Right.
Like maybe he's not as powerful because his dad's dead and he's like not connected to his dad's power source, but he's still got like
the genes.
Yeah, like a super body where like you and me will survive a gunshot. Yeah. Or something. I don't know. It's like something like that's just what I thought. But you're right. Like I guess that's a big inconsistency.
No mask, and then.
But I feel like they left a lot of things like that happen in the movie where you're like, this can't be the end because there's just still too many open. Like, it can't be the end because Gamora and Peter aren't together. Like I feel like they're not going to be done until at least they like rekindle their thing.
Maybe I do have some. Actually, I'll do that to my next point. Yeah, I was actually really, really happy how they ended him and Gamora in this movie. Because James Gunn could have easily done, we're happily ever after again. But they made a point through this whole movie and through the Christmas special too a bit. Obviously not Guardians 2. But where it was like Gamora, like that's not Peter, that's not their old Gamora. This is the one that was still like killing machines, stuff like that. But we saw glimpses of the Gamora that we know, and it was really cool how they didn't give like a hug or kiss or anything. They just stood back to back, and the ending was like, we were a lot of fun when we like, because she knows she's not that person, but she's like she's kind of envious of that.
And she could tell how much like she could see how Peter's like staring at her like he's gonna cry. Like so she can know.
But she's very sympathetic.
And and it's not just Peter too, it's the whole team.
Yes.
They all like have
they have love for her.
Yeah, exactly. And really the only one, Nebula, because like they have like that competitive sister thing where like, but even that Nebula like had a relationship with their Gamora where it was like they cared about each other, they saved each other.
Yeah, they bonded.
So I would get it like that, where like they were showing that she could clearly tell that like the team cared about her, even though she didn't know who the hell they were.
Yeah, and she was kind of growing in there.
Yeah, she was growing on it, but I liked, like you said, the way they ended it. They were like, everybody got what they really always wanted in the beginning. Not as like Peter did want Gamora, but Peter always wanted to like go back to Earth. Yeah, and you want me see his grandpa. You know what I mean? He got taken away. And he always relates with Earth so much. Everything he loves about Earth. So he always wanted to go back. And Gamora always wanted a family. Yeah. You know, it's the same. It's basically with Nebula too, but Nebula has her family when they're at nowhere or whatever. And like Drax gets to be a dad again. You know, Mantis gets to go on her own, and Rocket's the captain of the ship. Yeah. Like I said, the only thing my biggest con was like Groot got no time. Yeah. Like Groot, I mean, he did get awesome moments when they're fighting. Groot's doing all the heavy lifting. Yeah. Like all the fight scenes, we kind of skipped past that. Were really good. Where they had extended fight scenes, like in the
hallway.
Yeah, in the hallway, that was dope, and Groot was going crazy. When Peter and him go and talk to the higher intelligence, and he blows the ship up, and they jump out, and he flies. Like you're like, holy, like Groot's just doing everything. Yeah. Then he like turned into Super Groot. Yeah. He's like huge. Like he did a whole bunch of cool stuff, and then like. He was like the badass too, where they're like, "Fly the ship, Groot." You know what I mean? Yeah. Pull up on us. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Put up on the deck, homie.
Yeah, like Groot was awesome. I just felt like we didn't get any of his backstory, and we got a lot of everybody else's.
That'd be interesting. I would love to see like
just a little bit,
or like a
how
special.
Him and Rocket met. Yeah, like, just something like that. Was he like growing in the woods and Rocket found him? Was Rocket? My guess is like Rocket was supposed to like bounty him. Yeah, Rocket's a good guy. Liked him, and he's like, you know what? We'll
that's my guess.
That's what I would guess. I might have to go write a comic and see or something. But that would be my biggest qualm with is that like we didn't find out anything about Groot throughout these 3 movies about his backstory, and we know everything about everybody else.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, that's a fair argument. I will agree with that. It would have been nice to see. Like they can do a special. They don't have to do a whole series.
Well, I don't. Like I said, we're not at the end of this, but I don't think they're done. Like if you saw, you know what I mean. Everybody you're watching this, you probably saw it. Like the way they ended it, don't feel done.
No, yeah, the way I saw it, we'll actually get into it right now is. For that post-credit scene, though, I think what it is it's James Gunn's story is done. Yeah. He is done with the Guardians. He's finished with it. He may do, like he said, the legendary Star-Lord will return. So I think James Gunn may do a Star-Lord show or movie or something like that.
I don't think it'll be James Gunn because he's got his hands full. I think somebody else is going to do like Return of Star-Lord or something Star-Lord.
Something like that. But
he'll bring the gang back.
But yeah, no, regarding the OG Guardians cast, that's done. I think that's what that's what I took away from it. And now it's set up with who was it? It was Adam, Sean Gunn, Kraglin. There we go. Kraglin, Groot, Rocket, Nebula, right? Yeah. And one of the little girls from the High Evolutionary. Was Cosmo there too? The dog?
Yeah, Cosmo.
Yeah.
Cosmo was cool too.
That was great.
That was fun. We're like, I thought it was going to annoy me. Like the first time he was doing the bad dog thing, I was like, this is stupid.
It worked.
It kind of got funnier as it got on, where it's like, you forgot about it, and then they cut back, and the dog's like still mad at him.
And then it paid off. He's like, you're a good dog. And he went ape shit with some telepathy shit. Yeah, so like the payoffs were great in this movie. But yeah, back to the post-credit scene. Yeah, obviously Groot too. I don't know if I mentioned that. We got Jumbo Groot now. We got Roid Raging Groot. I don't know what to call him. TRT Groot. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I hope that's not the end of Groot. And I don't think it will. I just think we'll see them all like in other movies.
Yeah, that or someone else is gonna take the reins of Guardians. I don't know who.
Rocket, I'm guessing.
No, I meant like as a writer and director.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
and it'll be like Rocket,
and it's set up.
And then they'll be because Adam Warlock doesn't have his mom anymore, so like they'll be teaching him. He'll be like their kid or whatever. Like he'll be their Groot. Where like they're teaching him, but he's more powerful than all of them. That'll be interesting. And the kid they picked to play Adam Warlock is a big name, so that's not the last we're gonna see him.
No.
So I'll be interested to see how quickly they get back into that storyline.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think it'll be a couple years. We'll see. I guess we'll see. This is phase 5 right now, and we're midway through it, right? Roughly.
Yeah.
Calm down, TikTok.
I didn't even think about that. 3 years. That'd be a while. No, he's got to have to be in something before then.
I was thinking Phase 6.
But
End
Hill
of Phase
in
5.
particular is going to have to. Or
We'll see.
Why? Yeah, that's.
Like I said, Marvel definitely. It was really James Gunn's story. Like I said, this really didn't have anything to do with Marvel except like now we have new characters.
All those guys were in Endgame.
Yeah. Go ahead. Were you gonna say anything?
Yeah.
Never get much there to each other. There was a little cool thing. So, I'm not sure if you picked this. Obviously, you heard it, but I'm not sure if you realized. So when Groot said, "Oh, I love you guys," it was James Gunn's of saying, "He's like, all right, now." That's why they weren't shocked when he said that, because he was saying I am Groot, what we've always been hearing.
Oh, okay.
But now we are part of that family, so to speak. So we heard what he was saying when he says I am Groot. So that's what that was. That's what James Gunn confirmed.
Okay, that makes more sense too, because I was like, nobody acts surprised.
No. He was saying that because now we're a part of that family.
Because somebody else was there too that wasn't who at first couldn't understand it. Was
Gamora?
Gamora?
Yeah, it was Gamora.
And she did too.
Yeah, she responded, but we heard I am Groot at first, and then later on, Gamora was there.
I was gonna say, because in the most of the movie, she's like, do you guys even understand what he's saying?
I know who you are. Yeah. But yeah, no, that was a cool little tidbit. I didn't
think about that. Yeah, I do remember. I was just about to say something that was cool that Groot like spoke English. Yeah. But then I remember, like nobody made a comment like, "Oh, you speak English." No. But I guess you're right. Like there was like basically saying like, "Okay, like we're all a family now, and we can understand Groot now." Yeah.
So that was really cool. I did want to let you know that this movie made $118 million opening weekend.
That's pretty good.
It was actually $3 million over their estimation.
Okay.
Something like that. I said the runtime. I'm looking at my notes right here. Do you have anything else you want to say before?
Before we close it out, the one, like I said again, I said this earlier, but. It's kind of whack that the higher intelligence was better than Kang.
Evolutionary. Let's discuss that. Yeah,
higher evolutionary. Why do I keep saying higher?
I don't know. I've never.
I think higher intelligence is in DC.
I don't know.
But the higher evolutionary was just way better than Kang. Like he was just scarier. He was like his plan seemed more like we knew what he was doing.
Evil.
Menacing. He's more evil. Kang is just like happy-go-lucky, and you're like, everyone keeps telling us how scary he is, but he doesn't do any scary things.
I think mystic is the best way to describe it. I don't think happy-go-lucky is the right word, but
cryptic, yeah.
Yeah,
but
cryptic,
like everyone keeps telling us how evil Kang is, but anytime there's an interaction, he
just has a monologue.
Yeah,
and loses.
Yeah, and loses.
At least with
the higher evolution lost, but he's not like
he killed the entire planet.
Yeah, and he's like not Kang, so he's not like a super person. No. He's just really smart. And there was like 8 of them trying to take him out.
And also like the first few times I met him, like he high evolution like beat the hell out of them, just tossed them all around.
Yeah, like exactly. He destroyed that whole planet. Yeah. He said like, "Oh, I've done that a bunch of times." Yeah. He killed all of Rocket's friends.
Yeah, like we understood.
Yeah, he killed like 10 little cute animals. Yeah. Like,
and we talked about this in Quantum Mania. Like that was my biggest disappointment. Was like they didn't show how evil Kane is. Like that's what like Sean said. Like we always hear how like, oh, I'm Kane, I'm a big bad.
Like, you don't want to see my other variants. And like, we met like 4 of them already. Yeah, they're all pussies.
Yeah, so they're not doing anything. It was so annoying. So yeah, the high evolutionary definitely sold as a villain.
Yeah, I thought he was the best. I thought
refreshing.
Thor looked cooler, but higher evolutionary was the best villain I think they had so far. He was like a really cool backstory. We got to saw his rise, and then like again, he was like a menace. He was sick, and it's like not this like, oh, you can relate to him type of thing. I feel like everything they're like you said, it's always like, oh, we got to relate to the villain. I'm like, no, can he just be some evil guy?
We can every now and then.
Yeah, like yes, the main guy Thanos. Oh, that makes sense, fine, but like. All the rest of the bad guys, we don't have to like relate to.
No,
we don't
have
to be like, oh,
we don't need some internal message.
Yeah,
every
his
single
daughter
time.
died, so you kind of feel bad for both of them. No, it's like it was cool watching the movie again, where it's like these were the good guys. He was the good guys and the bad guy. Like,
or what they should have done with Gore is like, oh yeah, we feel bad his daughter died, but then show him like killing
some other kid or like just
kill all these guys.
Like, it was like this weird thing where like we felt bad for everybody. It was just like this weird movie of depression.
Yeah,
Gore's daughter died. Thor's family died. Jane's dying. It's like, I want to see the good guys prevail over the bad guys. Yeah. Like that's what we want to see. Like, I want to see the good guys moping around the whole time. Like, oh, I can't find the motivation to save the world. Like, get out of here. Like, it's so stupid with Thor. It's like, oh, I just don't know what I'm gonna do. It's like he's gonna kill everybody. Like that's what's gonna happen unless you save everybody. And I just felt like Guardians does that great.
Yeah.
Like, I love in the movie
James
where
Gunn
Peter's like,
delivered.
"Why'd you guys leave me?" She's like, "You should have known I was gonna make a crazy cool escape."
Yeah.
It's like stuff like that. We're like, oh, I don't know. Like, I thought Guardians like did what Thor and Love and Thunder was trying to do, but it just doesn't work.
It doesn't work for
Peter and Thor can't do the same thing.
No.
And like you can't make us feel like it's hard, very hard to do like a sad sob story about Thor. Like he can't be killed. Like
what they're trying to do. Yeah, what they're trying to do is make us see Thor as us.
Yeah,
like,
relatable.
But we can't. Like we could. When I look. When I look at, let's say Thor, because I can't really think of anyone else in the moment. But like, I know I can't be Thor, but I can be sympathetic or something like that.
No, I think Thor is like Superman, where like some of the villain or some of the heroes you relate to, Batman, things like that, and some you strive to be because he is perfect already. And I think Thor usually is that guy where he's a little goofball, but usually like he never has bad intentions. No. Thor always does the right thing. Like not like what he think is right in the moment, but usually what he thinks is right. So it's like he's the Superman where like he's perfect. He's a god. He can't be killed, and he's also morally just good. He can lift the hammer, and that's why because he's good. And it's like then when you make him this weakling, you're like, oh, he gets depressed just like you. Like, yeah, I guess it kind of worked, but it's like that's not his hero arc. Like that's Iron Man. You know what I mean? There are other Captain America. There are heroes that like. Oh, he used to be like us.
For the humans.
Yeah, that we could be him. And there's
some like Bruce Banner. That's another relatable
there's
one
some you
extent.
can strive to be, and then there's some you can relate to. And I think they try and, like you said, they try to make Thor like, oh, I am Thor. See ourselves
we can be like Thor.
And it's like, no. It's like we see Thor as like the god of thunder. And it's like we should try and be more like Thor because he's the ultimate like hero. And it doesn't work when they try.
They're trying to show his trials and tribulations. They're trying to make his struggles, I'll just say, too humane. Like like you said, like he needs to have godlike troubles or struggles, something like that, where it's like, oh well, that sucks, but he's gonna get it. Like it needs to fit for him. That's the best way I could put it. Like they're trying to put him. I
don't think they need to show him struggle. He's like that's the point of him.
Well, I'm saying like with the villain, like dealing with that. That's what I'm saying.
Like
that's the quote unquote struggle.
It's understood that Thor. He tells stories where like he wasn't always the best.
Yeah.
Like where he fucked up, and it's like now he isn't because he pushed through and kept going. And it's like they try to like tear down Thor from what he was, and I didn't really see the point of it. And I know for a fact the next one they do won't be anything like that. No. He's gonna be just like his dad with a huge beard and smiting the universe.
And that's if we see him.
Yeah, and I get because he didn't even like it because it don't work.
Chris Hemsworth came out and was like, we need a totally different script. You want me to play Thor again?
Yeah.
For another Thor movie.
I think the first one was really cool where he was like, no nonsense.
Yeah,
like,
it was a little boring.
Yeah, a little bit, but it was like I said, he don't know the culture.
Yeah.
Second one was whack. The third one I thought was like a good mix of him being little goofball, but like still, like I said, Thor.
Stuck to the drama.
And then the third one was just like, he was just like.
Fourth one,
sorry. It's just where like, damn, they have four. Where he's just like moping around the whole time. Like. It just didn't hit. It's like Peter was sad in this one, but he wasn't moping around the whole time.
No.
Like I felt like that was.
We saw that in the beginning.
Like he moped a little bit, and then Gamora would leave, and he moped a little bit more, and then like they get right back into doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Let's do some ratings. What do you rate it?
I'll give it a 9.
Okay.
I really liked it. I thought it's the best movie Marvel's put out since No Way Home. And I liked Doctor Strange. But I thought Black Panther was a good movie. But I thought this one was awesome. It was a great ending to the trilogy. It didn't feel like 2.5 hours.
No, it did not. It blew my mind when I looked that up.
Yeah, Rocket's backstory was dope. The villain was awesome. The introduction of Adam Warlock I thought was well done. He didn't overtake the movie. Like I said, I was worried that it was going to be like his movie, and then like, trying to beat him up the whole time, and they couldn't. But he was just like this guy flying around.
It was just an introduction. Yeah, that's all. I mean,
he did. He showcased his powers, but it was more him. It was basically showing like, oh, he's a goofy kid. That's why he's not killing everybody.
Yeah.
But yes, 8.5, or what did I say, 9?
9.
Yeah, 9. And it's really sad that James Gunn probably won't be doing any more of these. But I don't think it's the end of the Guardians. Maybe as that group, as like Peter done. As the leader is done.
Yeah,
but I guarantee there's gonna be a Star-Lord movie, and he's gonna pull up, and it'll be Rocket as the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
and they'll do little goofy things where like
something's happening.
Or Rocket's like, I'm the captain now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not the captain anymore, Peter.
Yeah. I give this an 8.7, so pretty much close enough to you. Yeah, the drama, the story was just very, very well done. James Gunn's always delivered with this. However you rate this trilogy is fine, but at the end of the day, you cannot say this was not a great trilogy. This is by far Marvel's best. This has to be their best trilogy.
There isn't a bad one. I don't like the second one that much because for me it just felt pointless. Like to the whole grand scheme, I just felt like it was okay. The acting was good. Yeah. The interactions were good. I just felt like they could have picked a different villain and did something that was like more entertaining. They're like, oh, we meet Peter's dad, we killed him.
That's fair.
So it's like, yeah. But you're right. I thought this trilogy.
The trilogy was really well
done. Better than all the other ones.
Yeah, without
really
a doubt.
A bad one.
And with the story for the third one is really well done. And I left the movie extremely satisfied. Everyone got their arcs closed. I was like, well, I kind of wish someone died, but in a way, like this Guardians of the Galaxy are dead, metaphorically speaking.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Passing the torch down, sort of thing. Yeah. It's a new era, whatever you want to call it. The new Avengers. It's not the new Avengers, but you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like now Rocket's in charge. Yeah. Like you always want to be captain.
Now we see a new dynamic, and we see how that's going to work.
Nebula's not getting bossed around by anybody anymore. She's in charge of nowhere. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, like,
so
it's like the death of the group, but like I said, we're gonna see Star-Lord, Star-Lord movie, and he'll and like you said, either the Guardians will pull up on him or he'll have to pull up on. You're probably right, more so that like something happens on Earth and Rocket's gonna show up and knock on Quill's door like we need you. Or
we need help. Yes, that's my guess. So I was very pleased overall. I agree with Sean. It's sad to see James Gunn let go, but I'm very glad that he was able to finish the story he started and he ended it the way he wanted to. And he was talking about in interviews too that like Kevin Feige was just like, you do what you got to do, man. And he said throughout the whole series, the only time he got pulled back, he's like, hey, is it okay if I do this F-bomb in this, in the third one? And Kevin's like, you can, but do you really want to be known as the guy who had the F-bomb in Marvel? He's like, do you not know me? That's all I want to be known for.
You get one, right? And when did they say it? I forgot when they say it.
It was the car.
The car door. He's like, open the fucking door. Yeah. That's what he says, yeah.
And he said that wasn't part of the script. James Gunn just said to him, and he's like, hey, just try this. And then he did, and he laughed so hard. He's like, we kept it in, and then we're going to see if it was good in the edit because it was funny in the moment, and it just kept landing every time we saw it. And it did. Like, it was perfect. It was funny, and there's a lot of swearing to this. There's a lot of pretty, like dickhead, asshat.
There's a lot of
college
Yeah, like
humor.
buddy, like like goofing with each other. You know what I mean? You're stupid. You're an idiot. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Yeah, it was perfectly done. James Gunn really did a great job with this one. And if you watch us, we harp on him. We've been harping on him a lot about the new DC universe and everything that's going on. But if it's anything like he did with Guardians, then I'm sure we'll be giving our apologies out. Yeah. And I hope it's something like
Flash is in a few weeks, so I said, that's going to really switch everything for us. And they did their reshoots. Everything's done with the movie.
The trailer looks amazing.
Yeah. And they really haven't showed much. That's the thing. They keep showing like the same desert scene.
Yeah, they just show like
scene.
A couple of scenes of Batman jumping out of his ship out of context and fighting out of context. Like a lot of stuff out of context. Yeah. I'm fine when you show stuff when it's like completely out of context. Yeah. Like we already knew that Superman, or Flash, and Batman were all going to fight.
Yeah,
so it's like
obviously.
You show some of it, but it's like completely out of context.
Yeah.
Really.
We don't know.
The only one we really saw is when Zod punches the ship.
Yeah.
And so we'll know that's coming. Yeah. We'll probably be able to guess when that's going to happen.
Right, you can figure it out. But yeah, very excited for that. And no, I'm not going to burp. But yeah, that is it for this episode, guys. Do us a favor before you head out. Leave a like, subscribe right now. Comment down below what you thought of Guardians 3. What is your favorite volume out of this trilogy? Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Links are on the screen and down below. Other than that, I'm Tom. This is Sean, and we'll see you guys next episode. You take care.